You don't know how excited Dottie and I are for you all and what we believe you are going to do to make this world better.
I am super excited to see everyone's face in a time like this where there's a lot of uncertainty and we are sort of navigating a very changed reality.
Everybody's been forced to go home from school and be online. And what a fantastic way of connecting people. And this world, as it keeps shrinking, and what we're doing, what this Kenny Bunkport Climate Initiative, my project involving climate change, what we're focused on is youth oriented, and then from youth going up to families to communities, influencing government, business, and other social sector decision makers. And we're really excited about, but the point I want to make is here's this awful situation we're all going through with the virus, and yet it has stimulated people now being online. And there's no way we're going to meet. Our objective is to interact with 10 million youth at the junior high and high school level. And there's no way we could connect with 10 million youth without this kind of technology of online communication. And that's what's being forced because of the virus. So every once in a while, there are things that take place that are really, really bad, but then you can find out something, hey, there's something good that's happening because of it. Dottie and I are just so excited about you all and what you represent as really smart people with great values, and how as future leaders in the developing world, you're gonna make this world better. And just from the bottom of my heart and Dottie's heart too is thank you.
I would like everybody that is on the screen to raise their hand as to whether they came to Maine.
Oh, okay. Oh, majority of people. Let's see.
Yeah.
The Dartmouth ones, and we got to get the Wisconsin one here.
Yes, and with the Wisconsin ones that visit you in Menlo Park.
So I always travel with this because it reminds me of home, it reminds me of my brothers, it reminds me of my parents. So
sort of reminds me that even though we're in this period where everyone has to be far away, eventually things will get back to normal and we'll be able to enjoy the community as we used to.
The reason why I chose this picture is because it reminds me of just progress, like in a way of like things that have meaning and like how much I've come so far.
It's something that's meaningful to me because it reminds me of home and of friends. But at the same time, I guess it also reminds me, well, it makes me grateful for my parents and the kind of values that they instilled in me.
So right now that it's a more like introspective time, it's good to go back to old hobbies, and it brings me peace. So yeah, that's why I chose this picture.
Look at that dog.
Oh my gosh, beautiful and very playful.
Barbara to pick up the dog 2 weeks ago. She's with us in Maine.
I think we're seeing lots of opportunity to both display hope and passion.
Yeah, I'm the program coordinator with the King's Scholars of Dartmouth. And this is actually a picture of me and my wife.
This is a picture of her and her older cousin. And we continue the theme of family. And one of the things she says is this is what actually helps to inspire her.
I am fortunate enough to have been involved with the King's Scholar program at Dartmouth since we got started with Mark's group. This is my family, my son Andrew, my daughter Katie, and my wife Julie.
The whole coronavirus catastrophe has given, I feel like, the world an idea of how quickly pollution can be reined in with extreme measures.
So she says it's really important for a couple of reasons. It both reminds her of home because it's something they always use in Vietnam, but also her mom was always trying to encourage her to cook. You know, the plant is real and it's called Chiringo, I think is the flamingo. And it's a picture to him and sort of how do you have hope and beauty even in the midst while things are growing. And well, Janelle sent this picture of you as someone who is inspiring for her. And obviously for all the King's Scholars at Dartmouth.
And also it reminds me like I will also die one day, but before I die, I have to do something meaningful.
As we think about where we are now, something that Mom used to say all the time was be careful and prayerful. And I think that is a saying that sort of goes with me now. And so I wanted to share an inspiration for me.
And I share this picture, not exactly because of this book specifically, but because of what it represents for me now, which is a way to clear my mind off the news that can be so overwhelming.
My extended family is from Manchester, and it's a very mountainous region. There are a lot of rivers and falls and whatnot. And I've been there a couple of times since I've been back. I'm home, by the way, since I've been back.
They're roses made from paper, and I've been making them, and I decided to make one rose whenever I get tired from doing my thesis work on computer and coding it, or whenever I feel lonely and missing my mom, because my mom loves roses.
Her name is Michelle Johnson, and she works with in the rehabilitation robotics lab. And I just find it so inspiring what we can do with technology.
My image is about a woman named Professor Wangari Maathai, who is the woman that I'm writing about for my thesis. She was like the first woman to become, the first African woman to become a professor.
This is a picture that Peter Jenkins, he had another call. He's at Dartmouth and he works with the scholars on internships. And he was saying self-care is such an important thing during this time.
During these times, it means a lot to just look at the flag of my country. It inspires me a lot that most of the things that I'm working towards.
Here's like my beautiful mom, my dad, my small sibling, like brother, and here's him, like here's me as like a kid. And it's just like, they keep me grounded and I feel happy when I look at this.
I got it from a friend, Cheryl, who's one of our colleagues here of Wisconsin, Madison. And I think all the Kenyans even here have it. So Lennox, yeah, this is something that's really meaningful because it's about home and we never take it off.
When I look at this picture for sure, I would say it's keeping me moving throughout this time, and I really appreciate these two people in my life. They are my biggest inspiration, I would say.
I can see.
This painting that I did about my nation flag, and then the symbols that's there is called the Dinkra symbols. So like whenever I look at it, like these symbols just represent like community.
And with me here is notebooks. So I've been keeping my notebooks since high school, and once in a while I take a look at them and see how my ideas and the things I normally talk about change over the years, and it's nice to see the growth that happens.
The message of kindness is something I'm trying to remember myself and to share with friends as well, especially right now with everything that's happening.
The fact that in this moment in our lives when things are kind of going downhill and it's kind of like black everywhere, we are able to know that nothing is as constant as change, and that eventually this problem, this pandemic, will also pass as every other problem which has surfaced on the face of the earth.
Yeah. Bob and Dottie had a big vision, and they have also a big heart, and that is, how can we help you, the next generation of leaders? And when I think about this global crisis that we're in, I also recognize that there is the opportunity. There's the opportunity to understand how we can be that next generation of leaders to mobilize around the world, around issues. We're seeing sometimes the lack of that. And so I think there's an opportunity for us to step up and to try to understand what does that look like.
Just before you move to that next stop, I was quoted the other day that when I started in business in San Francisco, and somebody gave me an expression that still rings in my ear and I think is so relevant to what you just said. And the catchphrase he had was, problems are opportunities and overalls. They may not look like a opportunity, they may not look like something you can solve, but when you really focus on what is the problem, how can I figure out a solution? Bev, I think we're going to sign off and just say thank you so
Bev,
much.
you did a wonderful job. Can we do this more frequently, maybe in 2 weeks?
Yes, I think that would be a great way to share time with each other.
I want to say great gratitude to our students that have helped back us up with our mission to, Gustavo, you're now in Brown. I can't believe it. And there's so many good things that are happening. Anala, you're coming to Stanford. Oh, we've so many good accomplishments. So hang in there, guys, if you feel discouraged.